Today we are going to understand our poem Life by Charlotte Bronte. A poem Life. Life belief is not a dream, so dark as sages say. After little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient all. If the shower will make the roses bloom, oh, why lament its fall? Rapidly, merrily, life's hours flit by. Gratefully, cheerily, enjoy them as they fly. What though death at times steps in and calls our best away? What though sorrow seems to win over hope a heavy sway? Yet hope again lasting springs, unconquered though she fell. Still buoyant are her golden wings, still strong to bear us well, manfully, fearlessly, the day of trial bear. For gloriously, victoriously can courage quell despair. The poem Life by Charlotte Bronte is about optimism of the poet, and the rhyming scheme of the poem is AB, AB, except rain and rain. The poem is divided into three stanzas consisting of 8, 4, and 12 lines, respectively. Bronte was born in April 21, 1816, in Thornton, which is in Yorkshire, England. In this poem, Bronte represented a speaker who is optimistic about life. Everyone goes through a copious amount of joyful moments and unfortunate moments also. Many human beings have gone through these times. Now, poem Life. Life believe is not a dream, so dark as sages say, after little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. What is the meaning of these lines? So, explanation of these lines. The poet begins with the word called life, which is the title of the poem. It emphasizes the fact that the poem is all about life. According to the poet, we should believe that life is not a dream so dark as sages say. Sages, wise men say. So that means the life is not as bad as most of the people believe and say. Often, a little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. The term morning rain is a metaphor that symbolizes sorrow and despair. The line means that despair is often a way to joy and happiness, like morning rain, which leads to a pleasant day. Next one. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient all. If the shower will make the roses bloom, oh, why lament its fall? Now, explanation of these lines. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient all. That means there are sorrows and grief in the life of every human being, but they are not permanent. Rather, they are temporary and short lived. So, in the final line of the first stanza, the poet raises a rhetorical question: if the shower will make the roses bloom, oh, why lament its fall? Meaning that if rain can make the roses bloom, then why should we mourn it? In other words, sorrows leads to happiness and should not be lamented. Next one. Rapidly, merrily, life's sunnies are flit by. Gratefully, cheerily, enjoy them as they fly. So the meaning of these lines are, according to the poet, life's sunnies are flit by. Flit by, they will fly means very fast. And thus, instead of lamenting the sorrows and grief, one should be grateful. Gratefully, cheerily enjoy those fast flying moments of life. Now, what though death at times steps in and calls our best away? And what though sorrow seems to win over hope a heavy sway? The explanation of these lines are, the first two complete sentences of these stanzas are question in which the speaker is basically asking, so what? So what if death at times steps in? So what if sorrow seems to win? These things are temporary, And the speaker is acknowledging that these things exist, but she is not allowing them to sway her. Now, yet hope again elastic springs unconquered, though she fell, still buoyant, and are her golden wings still strong to hear us well. Here, the poet says that in a rhetoric ways, says that though the death may take away your life during our best time, the most enjoyable time, or the sorrow take over our hope, we should never lose the will and determination because hope has elastic spring. Elastic spring means the hope is elastic and like the spring season, it can't be bent by the sorrows. Means for the short period of time there is a winter season, but cannot be broken and retain itself after the clouds of gloom go away, just like the when the winter goes away. And in the next line, the poet brings in herself and says that though the sorrows and the grief have bent her down on her hopes, she still had her golden wings, which are capable of being flying even after grief bent them down. Manfully, fearlessly, the day of trial bear, for gloriously, victoriously can courage quell despair. So, explanation of these lines. The poet can bear all the hurdles of life as she is manfully. Manful means strongly, with a strong determination and fearless. And on the final day, the day of the judgment, her courage will make her victorious. Thus, the poem ends with a strong will, hope, and determination that good will ultimately come to her. Now, here I am just I tried to explain the poem in simple words, line by line, so that you will have a good idea about the poem Life, which is written by Charlotte Bronte. This is really a very beautiful poem and very, optimistic poem. Now, life. First time, life, believe is not a dream, means believe that life is not a dream. So dark as sages say, but very dark, as wise man mentioned that. After little morning rain, often a little rain in the morning, foretells a pleasant day, tells that a good day is coming. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom, sometimes there are dark clouds, but these are transient all. But all these are transient, temporary. They are not permanent. And if the shower will make the roses bloom, if the rainfall will cause the flower produce blossoms, oh, why lament its fall? Oh, why do you mourn the fall of their leaves? Rapidly, merrily, quickly, joyfully, life sunny hours fled by, sunny hours of life will pass. Gratefully, cheerily, thankfully, cheerfully, enjoy them as they fly, as those hours fly, enjoy them. What though death at times steps in? What does it matter if death sometimes interferes and calls our best away and calls the best people among us to take their life? What though sorrow seems to win? What does it matter if sorrow appears to be winner over hope, a heavy sway in the competition with hope, with the hard rule? Yet hope again elastic springs, but let's hope again that flexible springs, unconquered though she fell, be undefeated, unconquered, undefeated, though she who fell. Still buoyant are her golden wings, still her golden wings are floating, still strong to bear us well, still are strong to endure us well, manfully, fearlessly, bravely, courageously, the day of trial bear, the day of trial, for gloriously, victoriously, because splendidly and successfully can courage quell despair, can courage suppress to despair. I hope I have cleared this beautiful poem Life. Thank you so much.